Hey you guys, good morning. It is Monday. Welcome to my channel. If you're brand new, then welcome. If you're returning, then welcome back. By the title of this video, as you can see, this video is going to be a super simple bare minimum supply list that you will need for your BBL surgery. In a couple weeks, in a week, I will be 7 months post-op from my surgery. Be sure to check out some of my other videos that I did previously, like my 6-month post-op, my 8 hours post-op, and then the previous video I just posted showing you my scars and how my butt healed, and all that kind of stuff. It's really informative for people who have not gotten their surgery yet. But I decided to do this video because it was really highly requested. A lot of people inboxed me on Instagram and asked me to do this video. And I'm doing it simply because before I got my BBL surgery, I would look at YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video, looking for what I'm supposed to take with me and whatever. I made this massive list and I used maybe 1/4 of everything on the list. So I'm just going to tell you really what you're going to need, what they're going to tell you that you're definitely going to need once you get down to your surgery center.
Bounce that, do it, baby, stick it, baby, move it, baby.
Starting with number one, I've seen a lot of people say, take Tylenol and ibuprofen and all that. If you do experience pain or discomfort during your surgery, I'm going to tell you right now, ibuprofen or Tylenol Max or whatever you take is not going to help subside the pain at all. They're going to give you Percocets, they're going to give you oxycodones, and whatever else they decide to give you. My doctor gave me oxycodones, actually. And really for my surgery, I wasn't in pain. It was just more uncomfortable simply because of the drainage tube. So don't waste your time taking medicine with you. The next thing is when you're on the way down, if you're driving down, I drove down from South Carolina to Miami, and it was an 8-hour drive for me. So on the way down, you will not need the pillows, but I'm going to recommend the pillows and say that it's one of the must-needs that you need. Is because on the way back down, they're saying that for about 3 weeks, you cannot sit or lay on your back or on your side, simply because if you were to, it could make the fat die, or it could move the fat around simply because you were like fresh out of the surgery. So they recommend that you don't lay on your side or sit down or whatever. So that means for you, on the way back home, however far you got to drive or ride, you won't be able to sit. So the pillows will be good for you to put under your stomach to help cushion you. So that whenever you're laying on your stomach for however many hours, it'll feel okay. I even went as far as getting a few extra pillows to line the back of the seat. So just in case I like slid back while I was riding, like my hip would be okay and it's not pressing up against like the hard back seat. So you can do that. And they also have like BBL pillows. I just use the regular pillows. I'm not sure how much the BBL pillows would cost. But I use like a simple pillow you can get from Walmart, like $2 a piece. And I bought like 6 of them to line my whole back seat and then the back side of the seat. The next thing is Dial soap. So people probably use like Olay. I think that's like a shampoo. But anyway, people probably use like that brand or like Dove or whatever you use. They only allow you to use Dial soap. Dial soap is the only thing that you are allowed to use. They're going to tell you that when you get to the surgery center. Dial soap is what, like 95 cents at Dollar Tree. Let's go ahead and buy you a bar or two. It's I don't know where I was going with that. It's anti like smell, right? And like antibacterial. That's the word I was looking for. So that's the only soap that they're going to allow you to use, and they're going to tell you when you get to your surgery center that you need to have it. So you might as well go ahead and go down with it. The next thing you're going to need is slippers or slides. I'm going to say that because whenever you're recovering from your surgery, it's going to be really, really hard and uncomfortable and maybe painful for you to bend at the waist. So if you're trying to, and how you're going to put on shoes, if you're already in pain from the surgery, can't really bend at the waist, and you can't sit down to put on the shoes. So with slides, you can always just, slide your feet in and go wherever you're going to go or walk wherever you're going to walk. It's going to be really hard for you to put on tennis shoes. I tried that one time during recovery, and my mom had to help me. Like, I was like a 1-year-old. I was like so embarrassed. But make sure you take some slides and save yourself like the time and the pain or whatever, or save you money from having to buy it again later. Next, I would say take clothing that you would not mind ruining, simply because you're gonna leak a lot, like a lot. A lot of people like will comment on my 8 hours post-op video. You can also go watch that, and that'll show you about how much leaking you would be. That would show you how much leakage to expect. Really, I thought I was dying. Like, I even called them and I was like, hey, like, I'm leaking like hell. Like, is it supposed to be this bad? I really thought I was like bleeding out. Like, that's how bad the leakage was and how much blood was everywhere. You can see that in my 8 hours post-op video, so you can know what to expect. And so you can know exactly what I'm talking about, what I experienced and what you're going to experience whenever you get your surgery. But go ahead and take clothing, like I said, that you wouldn't mind ruining, simply because you don't want to wear your favorite Tommy Hilfiger sweater or your favorite Ralph Lauren sweater and it get blood stains all over it, and now you pissed and, you know, you got to go and buy another one. So just go buy a couple sweaters from Wally World or whatever and just wear that. Some of your old sweaters, just so you're comfortable around the hotel room, going back and forth to your appointments. Going back and forth to your appointments, and you'll be okay. Like, don't wear nothing fancy and expensive, because it's definitely going to get ruined with all the leakage that you're doing. Next, I would say wear loose-fitting clothing. For me, they did massages. So I had a massage for 5 days straight. So I had to, you know, transport myself, me and my mom, back and forth from the hotel to the surgery center. And whenever you have to take off, you know, your clothes, then take off your faja, take out the cushions and all the stuff, the backboards and stuff they're going to give you. It's just easier, once again, instead of you bending over at the waist and trying to take off sweatpants or take off those sneakers or take off a t-shirt. Just go ahead and wear like a t-shirt dress or a long sundress that you don't mind ruining, and that should be okay for you. You can just take it off in one motion versus, like I said, taking off a shirt and the pants and whatever else like that. The next thing I'm going to say is compression socks. So they are going to issue you compression socks. And my doctor, I don't know why, gave me white socks. But the yellow stuff that they use to sanitize your body before the surgery, and of course a lot of blood was like all over it. Whenever you wake up from the surgery, they're going to already be on you. At least that's how it was for me. So they already had it on me, and it was just really bloody. A lot of the yellow sanitation stuff was all over it. It looked disgusting. So I would recommend you getting or bringing down with you, or going to pick up when you get there, a second pair of compression socks. Maybe even two if you would like. Simply because whenever you're leaking, it could possibly be leaking down your leg. And you don't want to be walking around. You have to keep the compression socks on for that whole week. So I'm saying you should get another pair of compression socks, simply because, you know, I'm sure you don't want to be walking around with bloody stained white socks, or, you know, of course they'll probably eventually start to smell that blood on it. And you can just have a pair of socks to change them into, if that makes sense. So definitely compression socks. Something else I would say is wet wipes, simply because with all the leakage and you going in and out of the bathroom, that blood is going to get really hard on you. I ended up buying a second faja so that I can rinse one out or wash one while I'm wearing a new one. And then whenever that one gets too full of blood, then I'll switch back into the other one, and just kept going back and forth. They're only going to issue you one faja, so I ended up buying another faja from them for $150, I think. So that I can keep switching the faja, because for 3 months you have to wear a faja. So you might as well go ahead and get two. I mean, instead of you trying to wear that same one over and over. Even when you leave the surgery center, you know, 3 months after, you still got to wear it. So two would be good, so you can keep switching them out versus you trying to wash that same one or wearing that blood-soaked one, pretty much. Because once all that blood gets on it the first time and you wash it, a lot of it's not going to come out. It won't be smelly anymore or sticky or whatever, but it's still going to be blood like all over it. Excuse me. The color of the red is going to be, you know, all over it. So I think you should get a second one and wear, you know, that one and switch them out. So the next thing I would say is panties. Get one size up of panties. During this whole experience, I did not, well, during my whole week of recovering, honestly, I did not wear panties simply because it irritated my drainage tube. And the drainage tube, honestly, was the worst experience of the whole BBL for me. I didn't experience any pain, just more just more uncomfortable than anything, simply because when I woke up from the surgery, they already had the drainage tube like stitched on me, in me, and on me. They used like 1.5 stitches, and it was like really poorly done to me. So it was just moving around everywhere and anywhere it wanted to. It burned and stung and hurt so bad. I had no choice but to lay on my stomach, you know, so that wasn't making it no better. And then when I tried to get in and out of the shower, it hurt really bad. So that's why I recommend, if you decide to wear panties, then it's bigger so it's not so tight on the drainage tube or bothering it. And like I said, I didn't wear panties. And in between the faja, they have a cutout for your hoo-ha, and you can pee through that hole. So that's what I would do, because once again, you don't really want to do too much movement with the panties. You got to pull down the faja each time, take out the foam pads, then pull down your panties, move that drain all over the place, irritate that, you know, then pee, then reverse and pull it up and all that. It's just in the way. It's just too much. So I wouldn't recommend you wearing panties, but if you do, go ahead and get that one size up. So whenever you get your new booty and you grow with the swelling plus the fat they injected, you should have space inside your new panties to be okay. So the next thing, I already said about the dresses and the loose fitting clothing. So the gauze and the tape, once again, going back to that drainage tube, it was just really irritating. You can look in my, which video? I think it was the 6-month post-op. I showed a small clip toward the end of them ripping out the drainage tube. It hurts really bad, it stings, and it burns really bad. I didn't record the part when she was cutting out the stitches, but I showed how it looked and how long it was going inside of your skin. So it was about up, like, it was like right here, and it went up like into here, and the stitch was maybe like right here. So like I said, right where your panty line would be. So it would definitely be irritating for you wearing panties. Going back to that. Going back to that. So like I said, I ended up getting gauze and medical the white tape to try to help me. So I put the gauze around it, so just in case any of the blood or leakage came out of it. First of all, I was getting on the gauze, so that helped me out a little bit too with the leaking, a tiny bit. And then I used a tape to try to help me to hold the gauze, or hold the drainage tube line in place, so it wouldn't be moving around when I'm trying to walk or take a shower as bad. Like I said, that was the worst experience out of the whole thing, was that drainage tube. And the last thing is, I've seen a lot of people recommend getting a shower liner. You do not need a shower liner. You can lay on top of a normal sheet at your hotel or your recovery house, and you can do something called puppy pads. Here are the puppy pads. Had to go grab those. Here are the puppy pads. I think it's like $2 or $3 for this pack, and it came with 14 of them. This is actually the same exact pack that I used for the surgery, and I only used a few of the pads. So it's lined on both sides. You can see it's lined on both sides, so whenever you leak, it's going to go in the middle, and this is plastic. So whenever you leak, it's going to be stuck in the middle of this plastic, so you don't got to worry about it leaking through this. Just make sure you line your bed. I don't care if it's the white sheet. I laid on a white sheet. You can just put this under your stomach or where you are bleeding at, and it's going to catch it all. You don't got to worry about nothing. Like I said, it's a couple dollars. Don't worry about getting all this extra stuff for the bed. You don't need it. Don't waste your money. These couple dollar puppy pads will be just fine. So that's pretty much the end of this video. If y'all have any questions, like I said, it's going to be super simple, quick. I mean, don't be spending all y'all money. You really don't need it. So if y'all have any questions, just go ahead and message me on Instagram or comment down below. If y'all felt like I didn't go into depth about anything specific enough, just go ahead and comment down below, and I'll be sure to I'll be sure to answer your questions. Thank you for watching, and y'all have a great day.